Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our meeting this evening, and thank you for all being here. We'll open with a statement and then continue on with the business. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. We'll have our Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Item number 1, proclamation honoring Mr. John Bergman of the Popcorn Park Animal Refuge.
Come on up, John. Come on up. Come on up, sir. Tell him to come up, John. Just stand right there. Just stay there.
I'd like to read a proclamation on behalf of really the entire town, not just the governing body. So if you entertain us for a minute, Mr. Bergman. Whereas John Bergman has dedicated decades of his life to the welfare and protection of animals, serving as the executive director of the Popcorn Park Animal Refuge and becoming a beacon of hope and compassion for countless animals in need, and whereas under his visionary leadership, Popcorn Park Animal Refuge has grown to become a sanctuary for wildlife, farm animals, exotics, and pets, providing a safe haven for creatures from all walks of life and offering the community an invaluable resource in education, inspiration, and advocacy. Whereas John's tireless efforts have transformed the refuge into a world-renowned institution, exemplifying humane treatment of animals and ensuring they receive love, care, and respect that they deserve. Whereas his dedication extends beyond the refuge itself, engaging with the community, educating the public about animal welfare, and fostering a deep appreciation for the natural world among people of all ages. Whereas John Bergman's legacy is not only reflected in the thriving animals he has helped, but also in the hearts and minds of those who have been inspired by his work, ensuring that his impact will continue to be felt for generations to come. And whereas John embarks on this new chapter of his life, his retirement marks the end of an era, yet his commitment and contributions will remain an enduring testament to the difference that one person can make in the world. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Peter Curatolo, Mayor of Lacey Township, do on behalf of myself and the entire Township Committee hereby honor and celebrate the extraordinary career and retirement of John Bergman, thanking him for his years of unwavering service and wishing him health, happiness, and fulfillment in his future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just, the Township Committee and the people of Lacey have been so supportive of us out there. I just want to thank everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
It's been a long ride, and who would have thought back in the 70s when the Township Committee let us to buy that land out there for an animal shelter and an adoption center that it would have grown to this. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
Let me
you.
give you
Hope to see you.
Item number 2, Lacey in Lights winner. Come on ahead, Mr. Weiland. Thank you.
I feel like I'm too close to you guys. I'll move this back.
Thanks, Tim.
All right. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for having us here today. We had our 8th annual Lacey and Lights Holiday Light Decorating Contest this past holiday season, and I'm proud to say that for the 8th straight year, we've had a different winner. We've never had a repeat winner, so we are glad about that. And we have here with us tonight The winner of Lacey and Lights from 482 Steuben Avenue, Kyle Mitchke and the Mitchke family. He's also here with his daughter, Cammie.
Wow, I wasn't planning on speaking here. I just love, the Christmas season, bringing everybody together. And, I did it mostly for my kids. But, I like to, bring everybody together. And I encourage everybody. I play music, too, sometimes a little too loud. But, looking...
I want to make that in front of these guys.
But looking forward to next year. I actually had a bunch of stuff that was on backorder that didn't make it in time for this year. So next year it's going to be a good one. So thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. I have a question. How long would it take you to put up all that stuff?
Well, I'll tell you, the gutter lights were 16 hours long. So probably about 80 hours.
Whoa.
Still getting them down.
Yep. Don't give Daddy secrets away. Take care now.
Item number 3, Resolution 2025-82, appointing police officers.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the appointment of Cassidy L. Mai, Jack R. McKee, and Justin M. Brown as full-time police officers with the Township of Lacey.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Second?
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes, and proudly.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Chief Kenny,
Thank you.
it's all yours.
First off, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We got a wide array of people. We got our own officers who are here in support of the new hires and the promotions. What we're here for is 3 new hires, 2 promotions, all replacing vacancies. So fiscally responsible. But I want to thank the community members for coming out. Officers from other jurisdictions, family, friends, and the retirees. Are here as well in support of the Lacey Township Police Department. We've got somebody from another part of our town, Public Works. It's just a big family effort.
That's right.
It's just truly nice. I'm glad I'm up here doing this, and it couldn't be possible, like I said, without all of you. We've got state troopers here. We've got members of our SWAT team. Thank you for coming as well. They're a county SWAT team in support of one of our promotions, and all of us. But it's great. And we can't do this without the support of everybody, the community, and especially the committee and Veronica Ray, the township administrator. It's truly, and I'm truly not just saying it, it's been a pleasure. It truly has been a pleasure working with the township administrator, the township committee. They've been very supportive of the police department, and I can't thank them enough. It's just been a true pleasure. They give us, what we need. They listen to us, and that's why we're here tonight. So with that, I really want to say, I don't want to take too long. I know Mr. Kennis doesn't like that, but we got a couple of programs that are going on right now. We have the Cop Card program.
Yes.
So it's our 8th edition. It's our 25 years. So that is just started. It started last Friday. It'll go to April 4th. And our Meet the Officer Day is March 22nd at the middle school from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And what that is, we have 74 cards. Kids go out in the community to our local sponsor organizations, local businesses in town. They collect the cards, and they can stop an officer, get a card from them. And once they have all 74, they either have a teacher or a police officer, check their list, sign off, and they get entered into a raffle. At Meet the Officer Day, they can get all the cards, and there's raffle prizes at Meet the Officer Day. So all the officers, on their own time, they come out there and they meet, the kids of the community. which is, it's a great program. What I want to say about that, that wasn't pushed by me or the command staff. We always support our officers, but we say, hey, you know, we know that, you know, you guys need, you know, manpower concerns. You guys are busy. We're not going to ask you to do anything that's going to, you know, take away from that, add more responsibility onto you. And what I can say is, organically, by your support, by giving us the staffing, the equipment that we need, they did it voluntarily. So I take no credit for it. I know it's Officer Mike Hutman who's not here. We bust his chops a lot, but he came through. As always, he always does. Officer Riccadella, not sure if Dan's right around here somewhere. He's outside. Good job, Dan. And then Officer Walsh and all the other officers involved. But those three, they took the lead on it, and phenomenal job. We couldn't be prouder of them. And you know, that's excellent. The next program is a bike rodeo that we're going to have. It's a long time that we haven't had a bike rodeo. And Detective Lieutenant De La Salle, who took the lead on that, along with Sergeant Ewart. And the reason is because they're in charge of the juvenile unit and the school resource officers. So that's part of the Detective Bureau. They know that they want to get that done. Lieutenant De La Salle was by himself for a long time, didn't have enough staffing. Through the hiring process and promotions, we were able to get to where we can actually do that. And that's set for May 31st. At the Lacey High School. There'll be a BMX demonstration from, what are they called? Dialed action. Like, we're gonna do a BMX demonstration, and then with the Greater Mercer TMA gonna come out, do you know, the bike rodeo part of it. A lot of different ideas with training, pedestrian, you know, instruction for all the little kids. Probably do the raffle prizes. So a really good event, and once again, this is all extra. It's not, you know, just, hey, that's your only position. That's the only thing you have to do. This is every responsibility plus that. So it's something, an initiative that we want to take on, and this is the stuff we're talking about giving back to the community. So we're very happy, and it's organic. It just happens. You give us the support, and they, you know, the officers want to support, you know, the township, the community, so it's great. A couple other things, the PBA just did volleyball at the middle school. That was last Thursday, and that turned out very well. So the officers are involved. They love the community. The community loves us. You know, we know that, and couldn't be any more grateful. So, thank you. That being said, we're going to move on to our hiring. We can bring Cassidy Knox over. I have a cheat sheet, so I don't miss anything. There's a lot here tonight. So, Cassidy Mai, she works for us now as a police dispatcher. We just got her in August of 24. So, one quality employee, so happy to have her. And, you know, lo and behold, she's on our civil service list, and she's our number one candidate right now for to hire her. So, big loss in our public safety telecommunicator position, but big gain for the police department. With that, even though our dispatchers are losing, you know, a trainee, because he's still in training, and they put a lot of effort into that position, there was no complaints. It was only the root for her. Because Cassidy had to go to the academy, pass a physical test in order to get into the police academy. And I heard no complaints, just, you know, everybody rooted for her. And she's only been here since August. And everybody's super duper happy. They can't wait for, you know, her to succeed. So that's another reason why I like working for Lacey. All right, so Cassie's 24 years old, born and raised in Lacey Township. Graduated Lacey High School in 2018. She attended the University of Tampa and got a bachelor's in psychology and a minor in criminology. From there, she wanted to follow in her father's footsteps, George Mai, former corrections officer. And what she wants to say is that she wants to thank her family and friends for always supporting her, and wants to especially thank her mother, Laura, her father, George, for always pushing her to be the best version of herself. So she'd also like to thank everybody from the police department and the township for the opportunity, and is going to make everybody proud. So welcome aboard, Cassidy.
Come on. He's got water? Yeah. There's another bottle. You have it if you need it.
It's been a while.
It's okay. Okay. I, Cassidy L. Mine,
I, Cassidy L. Mine,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police officer
perform all the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear
true faith and allegiance
true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Get everyone?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats. Sign that for me. Very excited. Making it official. Right there. That's just your oath of office, what you repeated to Amy.
We'll have some comments from the committee. Deputy Mayor Kennis?
We're doing them all.
Why don't we wait till the end?
All at once. Okay. Sounds good.
At this point, I'd like to bring Captain Sullivan up for our next new hire.
Thank you. As always, the committee has been super supportive of us. That's been the theme of tonight, and we are very thankful for that. As a result of that, a lot of good things can happen, right? And this department has transformed over the past several years. We're very proud of that. We're going to continue that moving forward. We take our jobs very serious, and the hiring of personnel and promoting of personnel is certainly one of the I'm sorry to step right here, Mike.
you're fine.
Is certainly one of our biggest responsibilities, because you have to put the right people in the right places in order for an organization to succeed, in order for the township to succeed. So with your support, we've been able to do that. I'm going to bring up Jack McKee right now. So we're going to all just stare at Jack. And we're going to allow him to see like that color come out in his face. So, before we go on, this part is super important to me. As many of you guys know, I'm what's called a legacy member of our organization. So with a father having been a police officer and a son being a police officer, I've had the benefit of actually working with my dad for several years at the same exact time. So while Jack here is our 7th legacy member in Lacey Township history, he's going to be the second person to actually get to work with his father, John McKee here. The reason that's important, legacy members aren't really a thing in our field anymore. And for one reason or the other, we're having recruiting issues, we're having issues with our profession for many different areas. But in our town, it is a thing. So it's very special to Lacey Township, right? Everybody loves working here, right? As Committee McDonald says all the time, nobody comes here and leaves here. Everybody goes somewhere else and then comes here. We're continuously telling our kids that this is an outstanding place to work. We are, not without fault, not without issue here and there, but overall, this is an outstanding place to work. And we take this job serious, we take this responsibility serious. So with that, we're gonna get Jack going here. Jack is 22 years old. So actually, let me qualify with this. Jack was supposed to submit a bio to us, and he did, and there wasn't much on there, so I'm making stuff.
Because he's 22 years old.
Well, it's not that. He just doesn't like to be the center of attention, which is why we're like really focusing on this part right now, which is a little bit different than Dad, right? A little bit different than Dad, right? So Jack, 22 years old, graduate of Lacey Township High School, where he played basketball, football, and tennis. I need you guys to be very clear on this. Jack earned his way here. Nothing was given to this young man. He wanted to forge his own path. Didn't even ask his dad how to get into the police academy. Jack figured out a way to get hired. Gets hired down in Beach Haven, New Jersey. Worked there as a Class 1. Works his way through and gets into the police academy as a Class 2. Graduated police academy this past May. Worked the entire summer, at which point he took the civil service test and finished in the top 7. I think you were number 7 overall in the civil service exam. Puts himself in an outstanding position to get hired. Didn't ask his dad for interview advice. Didn't ask his dad for any of that stuff. He did this all on his own. We're proud of you, Jack. So, if you want to come up, John, on this. Congratulations to John. I know we're super proud of you. We have high expectations of you. In return, we will support you in your endeavor through the rest of your career here at Lacey Township.
Raise your right hand. Ready? I, Jack R. McKee,
I, Jack R. McKee,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police officer
perform all the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the state
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It wasn't you, it was him. It's not your fault, believe me. Congratulations. Do me a favor, sign your oath. Congratulations, Dad. Thank you. Congratulations, John.
Yes? Yeah.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jack. Can I grab one for you real quick? Sure.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jack.
Father and son.
Job well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good job, Cap.
That's right. Sure. Number 3, Justin Brown. Justin Brown, he's 31 years old. He's been a resident of Lacey Township for 28 years. Right? Graduated Lacey High School 2011. I keep saying these. I was hired in 2000. It's crazy. I was here. It was 25 years ago. It's one. Jeez, time flies. So, growing up, Justin participated in many township athletic leagues. I wouldn't remember him, but I wrote him down. Lacey roller hockey, Lacey Little League, Lacey soccer, and Boy Scouts. While in high school, he was a member of the tennis team, Future Business Leaders of America Club, and Lacey Township Fishing Club. He also attended the Ocean County Academy of Law and Public Safety program, which is excellent. That's the VOTEC for high school to get into the career of criminal justice and law enforcement. It's exactly what we want. So it worked out well for you, Justin. Thank you. All right. He previously worked as security guard at Community Medical Center in Toms River, which is sometimes a pathway into law enforcement as well. I know a lot of people who did that. And he started his career, his official career in law enforcement with the Camden County Police Department. He graduated the Camden County Police Department in 2020, and he served 5 years with Camden County. He was a patrol officer, field training officer, which, in order to be a field training officer, you have to be cut above everybody. And he was on a unit focused on combating narcotics and firearm-related offenses. He's going to have a little transition here. We are aware of that, and he is aware of that. So, he's glad to be back home. In his hometown. He's excited. We've talked to him. We said, hey, the excitement level is going to come down a little bit. He knows, and he's good with it. So we're very happy. And he wants to thank his, mother Cynthia, father Gerald, and brother Jason. And I know, just passed. But that's why he's here today, because of his family, loves them dearly, and thanks him for the support. So I just want to say, very happy to have Justin here. Congratulations.
I, Justin M. Brown,
I, Justin M. Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police officer
perform all the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God. Under the authority
under
of the
the
people.
authority of the people, so help me God.
Yeah, I'm gonna too. Get a hug. Congratulations, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Sign here. Sign the oath. Make it official. All right, thank you.
In closing with the new hire, I just want to say, was he the best woman for the job? Or I should say, wasn't a woman or a certain person. They were the best people for the job, and we wouldn't hire any other way in Lacey than hiring the best. They had to score well. They had to sit for an interview, pass the physical fitness test. They did everything that we asked them, and they were truly the best of the best, and that's why they're hired. I do want to say that we do have another potential hire in the pipeline. Very excited about it, and that we'll be looking for the fall. Even though the interest of the job is lower, I'm very excited and happy about the quality of candidates. So there is hope. I haven't been this excited about a group of candidates in a long time. So we're in good hands. After I retire and become a civilian, I'll feel safe. This generation of officers is here. It's very, very good. But with that,
Just go right ahead, sir.
motions?
Yep, go right ahead. Amy will read the resolution first and make it official.
Item number 4, swearing in police officers. No. Number 5, Resolution 2025-83, authorizing a promotion in the police department.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, promoting Anthony R. Sarno to the position of Police Sergeant for the Lacey Township Police Department.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mayor Kuratola?
Yes.
Mr. Sarno, come on up.
Officer Serna, front and center. accompanied by your own SWAT team members that are here. So there's a lot to say about Anthony, so I'm going to start reading. I couldn't be happier. He's a lifelong resident of Lacey, a 2003 graduate of Lacey High School. He worked State Treasury Department as a criminal investigator before being hired by Lacey in 2013. He has a bachelor's degree in developmental psychology from Roosevelt University in Pennsylvania. He has a master's degree in management from Seton Hall. And on his own, he wanted to get a graduate certificate recently in contemporary leadership. So he has a lot of initiative in his education. He's been in the patrol division pretty much his whole career, but he's held a lot of different responsibilities. He's the longest member we've had on the Ocean County Regional SWAT Team, 10 years. And he's our only member right now, so we're looking for to pass the torch to somebody else. So he's trying to mentor some of these new guys to come in and take his place eventually. We're not kicking him out just yet. But absolute great resource to have in our department. He's a go-to guy. He knows all the tactics. He's an instructor because of that. Teaches our active school shooter. Like I said, he's a firearms instructor. He has great sound tactics. Takes that position, very serious. Always improving, increasing, our officers' abilities when it comes to firearms, when it comes to tactics. He's our go-to guy. He's part of the city missions training, active shooter. I said one big thing is a field training officer. So what happens is, some of our best officers get promoted up. Field training officer, so we gotta, it's a big loss because we gotta fill that spot. But Anthony's trained so many different officers around this room right now. I'm very happy with what he's done with those officers, and I know they appreciate everything you've done for them. So the other things that he's done, he's a police academy instructor. He's received the Medal of Honor, a Drug Buster Award, marksmanship, and life-saving departmental citations. He was the Officer of the Year in 2017. And joining him today is his beautiful wife, Elena, his daughter, Raina, and his ugly daughter, Ada. Just so you know, I asked her how to pronounce her name. Make sure I didn't mess up. It's Letty to me, Elena. And Ada's birthday is tomorrow when she turns 1.
Oh, wow.
Great celebration.
Yes, it is.
But I do want to say, this is a long time coming, and I couldn't be happier. Promoting Officer Sarno to the rank of sergeant. He's a great guy, and he said, it's an absolute, asset to this organization. So, Anthony, congratulations.
Daddy's babies.
I, Anthony R. Sarno,
I, Anthony R. Sarno,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of police sergeant
perform all the duties of police sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the government established in the United States
and the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of people, so help me God.
I was gonna say, Chief, you can hold the baby, right? She wanted Daddy anyway. She was trying to get to him. Perfect.
New shiny thing to play with.
I know.
Thanks for your
Like to be in all their pictures.
You're such a jerk.
Sign here for me. Make it official. Perfect, thanks.
So,
Item number 7, Resolution 2025-84, authorizing promotion in the police department.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, promoting Daryl P. Nick to the position of Police Lieutenant for the Lacey Township Police Department.
move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
All right, Sergeant Nick, front and center, please. And so this truly is a long time coming, and no more deserving person than Darrell Nick. Sergeant Nick works very hard. Once again, he long-time resident of Lacey. I'm not sure if you're lifelong.
No, 7 years in Clifton, New Jersey.
All right. And he's been, he grew up here, graduated Lacey High School in 1997. From there, we went to Monmouth University, where he graduated in 2001 with a bachelor's degree in business management. And while there, this is what I have to read this for. So, a little trivia for you. He played 4 years for the football team as a punter, garnering first-team All-Conference his junior and senior years. Achieved All-American senior year, and then he participated in several regional combine tryouts for the NFL in his senior year. And we got him. Just as good as the NFL. I'm glad we got him. So in 2003, we hired him. He went to Burlington County Police Academy. He was assigned to patrol division pretty much his whole career. And he was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2020, right before COVID hit, so we had to deal with all that. As soon as COVID hit, everything changed, the world changed, and he was able to adapt with that. He's a member of our FAST team, which is our fatal accident support team that goes out on major motor vehicle crashes, so either significant injury or fatals. It takes a lot of schooling, a lot of patience, and you get called out inconveniently, unfortunately people, but if it's the weekend, if it's the middle of the night, Sergeant Nick would go out there and investigate accidents. There's a lot of depth, it's a lot of responsibility. A traditional traffic accident, you just handwrite, a diagram. Here, using what we call a laser, taking actual measurements, and you have to be exact. Because it goes, to litigation a lot of times. So it's a lot of specialty, a lot of responsibility, and he's done it for like 8 years. Has been, once he was sergeant, supervising the program, so he does an excellent job. He's one of our go-to guys with that. He's also been an FTO since 2009, so we're losing, we lost another FTO when we brought him to sergeant, but having that skill set, at the different ranks is important because they know what to expect and what, the program requires. So just because we lose him as an actual field training officer, we gain the experience as a supervisor. But with that, Sergeant Nick wanted me to tell you, he trained 9 different officers over that time. 3 of the officers are now sergeants, 2 are detectives. So he did a really good job. And he mentors the officers still, even after they're well, out of, his tutelage. They can go to him with any questions, and he's always willing to help. He's one of our certified child passenger safety seat technicians. So that's anybody who gets a child seat needs it installed. He's running the program and has been an intricate part of it since its inception. And he runs, we see something out from the firehouses or Walmart.
Walmart in September, yep.
Yep. That's who's doing it. is going to be Lieutenant Nick. He recently graduated from our Command and Leadership Academy from the State Chiefs Association. It's 13 weeks. It's an additional responsibility. You don't have to do it. He's willing to do it. You go weekly. You take tests. You do a lot of homework. You know, this is as a 40-something-year-old man. You got homework. He's willing to do it. Passed it and gained a lot of knowledge with that. He received 2011. He received a life-saving award for resuscitating a man who collapsed off the shoulder in the snow. So there's a lot that soon-to-be Lieutenant Nick has done for this organization, and now with his new position, he's replacing Lieutenant Resitar, who's retired, and he's learning how busy his position is. So what he does now, he oversees the Record Bureau and open public records, body-worn cameras, our Spillman computer system, our radios, our fleet, you name it, he does it. He's the patrol services lieutenant. A lot of responsibility, little help, unfortunately for him. It's kind of a one-man show, but he's since taking over the position, even as a sergeant right now, he's been filling in. He's doing a phenomenal job. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be prouder. He's the right guy for the position, and we're in good hands. And lastly, he's been married to his wife Denise for 15 years. Wants to thank her for the support and sacrifice that the Jonathan Bands. And then they have 3 dogs. Yes. And this is good to know for you animal lovers, me being one of them. For several years, they rescued, adopted out approximately 50 to 75 dogs to other families.
God bless you.
That's the kind of person Darryl is. He's just a great guy. Has nothing bad to say about anybody. Never has. I never heard him say a bad thing about anybody. He's just a great character, well-mannered, well-tempered, better tempered than I am. So he's a great guy. So congratulations.
Thank you, Chief.
You're up.
My nieces and nephews come up.
Yeah, of course. He wants his family. Come on. He wants his family up. Come on. Everybody, get up there. Mom, call Mom up. Lynn. Get up. Lynn. Come up. Mom, come here. She... Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I, Darryl P. Nick,
I, Darryl P. Nick,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of police lieutenant
perform all the duties of police lieutenant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You want your sister up here? Yeah. Andrea? That's beautiful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tara.
Lieutenant?
Congratulations.
Congratulations, so proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sign this for me?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I open up the comments to our committee members up here, I do want to be appropriate and mention and recognize former Mayor Lynn Nick, who is in the audience tonight. So we just wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you for being here. Some comments from the committee now. Deputy Mayor Kennis.
Thank you, Mayor. We really tried to put a renewed focus on the police department over the last couple of years. We've tried to increase the resources as best we can, and you can see it's bearing fruit. I talk to the chief regularly, and whenever we do have concerns from the public, and I talk to him about it, usually on, A, B, and C are getting done before I have it, before I can ask him what is being done about it. He's on top of it. So it all seems to be working. For all the new hires and promotions, I wish you all the best of luck, and we're happy to have you. And I want to thank everybody else for coming out today.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Committeeman McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor. If you want to know why the captain and the chief were especially nice to the committee tonight, is because the budget's not done yet. No, seriously.
Smarter than you think.
What's that?
Smarter than you think.
For Cassie, Jack, and Justin, welcome. I have said all along, this is your last spot. You will not leave here. You will not leave. You will retire from here, and whoever's sitting up here will pay you all kinds of accolades, and they will be well-deserved. You are joining what I have considered to be the finest police force in the state of New Jersey. And people say to me, why do you say that, Tim? Because they don't leave. If it's a bad police force, these guys will get out. If it's a good police force, they're not leaving. It's that plain and that simple. So welcome aboard. To our Sergeant Sarno, where is he? Right there. With all you do, I don't know why we need any more people. No, but congratulations, well deserved, well earned. And Mr. Nick, where do you go?
Right here.
There he is, right there. I had the pleasure of serving with your father on the Board of Adjustment. Great man, great man. Again, between you two guys, we don't need any more people. Are you guys hearing this? No, we do need a couple more people. We made the commitment a few years back to ramp up the police force. Why? Because we were well understaffed. We were still back in 15 years ago when we should have been ramping it up. And we didn't do it, and we couldn't do it for a variety of reasons, but now we're there. I think we got one or two more to go, and we should be good to go. And it's been a long struggle to do it. We've had to find the money to do it, and sometimes that's just not easy. But, well, I have said all along, this is the best police force in the state of New Jersey, and I welcome everybody here. These guys are unbelievable. So if you want to know how safe this town is, just go look at the stats and you'll find out. We have one of the safest towns in the state of New Jersey. It's because of these guys in blue and guys like Darrell, Nick, and Sarno, and the other guys here. So thank you, Mayor. That's all I have to say.
Wonderful words. Thank you, Committeeman. Committeewoman Giuliano.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, obviously, you see I have my blue on because it runs through me. It's part of who I am, and I'm so proud of all of you. When you walk in this room, it just makes us feel so good. And to the folks that got promoted tonight, we're so happy to have you moving up the ladder there because we know how this goes, so we're real proud of both of you. And to our 3 new hires, how lucky are we to have them joining us? It's a wonderful thing, and we're so proud of all of you. And to the families out there, this is why we are who we are here, because we're Lacey and we're strong, and we just keep building this town to where it's supposed to be. And to Mama Nick out there, there's only 4 of us. Remember that. There's only been 4 women mayors in this town, and you and I are one of them, and we're keeping it going, right? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Committeeman Giuliano. Committeeman LeRae.
Thank you. First, I want to address one of Chris's early comments, thanking the committee and all past committees for supporting your department. We have the department this fine, wonderful, and professional. No thanks is needed. You guys really make the job easy, and we're proud of that. To Jack, Cassidy, and Justin, welcome aboard. The one thing is, most people that know me know I have a lot of pride for this town. I love this place. And nothing warms my heart more than seeing every new hire and promotion tonight are all pretty much, even though you had first 7 years you weren't here, Darrell, you're a lifelong Lacey resident. And to your mom, I seen her smiling when I first came in. I've known Lynn a long time. And I know Captain Sullivan talked about legacy members. She might not have been a police officer, but she's a legacy in this town. So, to me, you're also a legacy member. But Tim pretty much covered on how we got here, how we got the money, the funds, and been working forward to it. But I just want to welcome everybody. You gentlemen with the promotions, some of you grew up with my kids, so I'm starting to feel old. Even when you do see the officers, I'm sure, well, of course, the crowd in here pretty much looks young too, but it's funny because sometimes you look up and you see the name on their shirt, and you go, wow, when did you grow 3 feet? But it's really heartwarming, and I can't even explain it enough on how great it is to know you lived here, you grew up here, you went to school here, you chose to bring your families up here, and the most important part in the roles you got is you chose to protect the residents of this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. So a lot's been said already by my colleagues up here. 12 years ago, when I was fortunate enough to be put here by all of you, I think we had 39 officers, and tonight I believe marks 50. So we are really growing the right way, and it's homegrown. A lot of the folks I've seen here have been promoted over my time on this committee, and they've been hired on that same timetable. So I always say, my family, my daughter's here, I feel safe, and some of the most memorable nights I have had on committee, and I hope there are many more, are these blue nights. You know, we don't have favorites in town, but to see all the blue here, it's definitely heartening. There was some great comedy tonight by Captain Sullivan and our great chief. They kept it light. I enjoyed that. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize these 2 little children here that are wearing Daddy is my hero blue tutus for Sergeant Sarno. It's just the greatest thing. My daughter's 20, she doesn't wear that stuff anymore. She barely talks to me, and it's sad. So, it's sad. It's sad. House is empty. Anyway, so we got wonderful police here and great families, and it's these ties that bind that makes Lacey the great place that it is. I love it. I don't want to leave here, and I hope I grow old here. So I'm very grateful and fortunate to serve with these good people and to be protected by these wonderful people in the audience. God bless you, and I hope God walks with you. Thank you. Unless you really enjoy municipal proceedings, and you might, I want to invite everyone to exit now. Unless you love us.
We're going to pause it, recess and pause the tape.
Do a pause and a recess.
Pausing the tape. Yep, next.
Okay. Item number 9, permission to place pinwheel gardens on township property in recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Move it.
Do you want me to explain
I'll
it?
do that again, I'm sorry.
That's okay. The Women's Club of Lacey is requesting permission to to place pinwheels in front of the municipal building in recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month. They'll be posted from April 1st until April 30th, and they will remove them the following day.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 10, storage pod extension request, 2241 Llewellyn Parkway.
A resident came in to request a 60-day extension for his small storage pod that is on his property. He came in right after the last meeting, so 60 days from the date of his request would allow him to have the storage pod until March 25th.
Is this his first or second request for extension?
This is his first request for
We
an
did one just
extension.
11, yes.
Correct. This
Okay,
is
I
his
wanted to be
first.
sure. Okay.
Move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 11, special use permit, Elks Lodge Fire and Ice Event, March 1st and 2nd.
The Elks Lodge is seeking permission to host an event at their facility on March 1st and March 2nd. March 1st will be 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and March 2nd will be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will include ice sculptures, fire pits, games, food trucks, and music. And they're also asking permission to post signs 2 weeks prior to the event in order to promote it.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is all I have. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Township of Lacey Township Meeting, February 13th, 2025. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and posted in the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. We'll have a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, first reading, ordinance 2025-03, establishing new chapter 241 entitled Municipal Buildings Restricted Areas so as to safeguard public records.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, establishing new Chapter 241 entitled Municipal Buildings Restricted Areas so as to safeguard public records. The purpose of this ordinance, again, is to safeguard records that might contain confidential information that would be exempt from disclosure under Oprah, and it would also safeguard employees.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 2, resolution 2025-85, appointing an affordable housing consultant for any affordable housing projects designated by the township.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appointing affordable housing administrators as Lacey Township's affordable housing consultant for the Preserve at Barnegat Bay and any affordable housing projects designated by the Township of Lacey and assigned to affordable housing administrators. This is the same consultant who manages our affordable housing rehabilitation program, and by appointing her to this position, she would manage the resale of the affordable housing units to make sure that we're in compliance with state guidelines.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 3, resolution 2025-86, authorizing the employment of a part-time municipal treasurer.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the employment of Christine Manulio as part-time Assistant Municipal Treasurer for the Township of Lacey. This is to fill a vacancy.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 4, resolution 2025-87, authorizing a leave of absence for an employee in the Department of Public Works.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing a leave of absence for Richard Larison.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 5, resolution 2025-88, authorizing leave of absence for an employee in the police department.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing a leave of absence for Deborah Simpson.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 6, resolution 2025-89, authorizing an amendment with the County of Ocean for the Schedule C agreement.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing an amendment with the County of Ocean for the Schedule C agreement. This amendment will now have the county take over the service and maintenance for the traffic signal at Lake Barnegat Drive and Haines Street.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 7, resolution 2025-90, authorizing a change order for the Lakeside Drive Bulkhead Replacement Project.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of an amendment to the contract with R. Kramer and Son Marine Contractors for the Lakeside Drive Bulkhead Replacement Project. This is for various electrical upgrades.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 8, Resolution 2025-91, authorizing the reduction of a performance guarantee.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the reduction of a performance guarantee for Dream Homes in the Pines for Lacey Pines LLC, conditioned upon the posting of a new performance guarantee. This is after an inspection by the engineer.
Move it. Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 9, Resolution 2025-92, authorizing the tax collector to refund a tax overpayment.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to refund a tax overpayment.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 10, Resolution 2025-93, authorizing the refund of deposit monies.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 11, Resolution 2025-94, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills. This is in the amount of $7,326,953.49.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 12, annual reports.
Oops, sorry, fell down on the job. Municipal Clerk's Office, the yearly report for 2024 collected receipts in the amount of $139,347.31. For the year 2024, the Public Works Department collected receipts for road openings in the amount of $36,510, recycling and clothing bins in the amount of $14,145.20, tires in the amount of $2,050, truck parking in the amount of $26,693. Municipal docks for the year 2024 collected receipts in the amount of $107,011. And the Department of Community Development for the year 2024 collected $808,891 in annual revenue. Motion to accept the annual reports.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 13, monthly reports.
Monthly reports. For the month of January, the Municipal Clerk's Office collected receipts in the amount of $32,433. Municipal Court in the amount of $20,557.71. Road openings in the amount of $7,943.50. Recycling commodity in the amount of $2,361. Tires in the amount of $171 for January. Community Development for the month of January collected receipts in the amount of $40,962. Motion to accept the reports is read.
Move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 14, motion to approve caucus meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 15, motion to approve township meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 16, motion to approve executive session meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 17, motion to approve budget meeting minutes of January 30th, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 18, motion to approve executive session meeting minutes of January 30th, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Add-ons?
No, you got next page.
Motion to approve membership in the Lenoka Harbor Volunteer Fire Company for Richard Bianco. I apologize.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 20, motion to approve junior membership in the Lenoka Harbor Volunteer Fire Company for Daniel Toner.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have no else.
Thank you. Comments from the committee, Deputy Mayor Kennis.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been rehabbing a house, an old house in town, and we've been taking the sheetrock off the walls, and they've been filled with old newspapers, really old newspapers. So as we're pulling the sheetrock down and the newspapers are falling out, you can't help but look at them. And so you go down rabbit holes. You just, the stuff is so old. So, wasted a lot of time reading old newspapers today. But I brought one. But I brought one with me. So this is halfway decent shape. It's from the Asbury Park Evening Press from October 14th, 1969. But the reason why I brought it, it was during the governor's debates, and so the headline is "Heckler's Mar Debate" for the governor's. And then the guy, I never even heard of this guy, but a guy named Minor, as a former governor, says Minor. So the other headline is Minor says state faces fiscal ruin. It says former Governor Robert B. Minor, the Democratic candidate for governor, says New Jersey faces, quote, financial disaster if it does not have tax reform. So the more stuff changes, the more it stays the same. That's why I brought that.
That's right.
If anybody wants the rest of it, they can have it. Also, just in the news, this week in Asbury Park Press, the Lakewood School District is $230 million in debt. They requested $100 million this year, and they only received, they received $65 million, and they said that might not be enough to sustain the school year. And I'm bringing this up because you have all these schools in Ocean County that are getting cut from their aid, and Lakewood is getting vast amounts of money. And I'm not picking on Lakewood, but there's something seriously flawed with all the school finances. Sometimes I talk to my friends and family members. I wish I was in some of the school board meetings just to see how they do their finances. They're just, some of these numbers are just staggering. I just do wonder how the money is spent. And also a segue to that, we got the 2024 Ocean County, the residential tax bill rankings. So our average, the Lacey Township average residential tax bill is 23rd out of 30 towns. 30 towns, or let me double check. 33 towns. However, our school tax rate, our portion of our school bill is our sixth highest. So again, not exactly picking on anybody that's on the boards or how the finances work, but there seems to me that there should be serious reform on school financing. Doesn't seem to be working for anybody. Those are my comments.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Committeeman McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple of things here. I was perusing on the web, NewJersey.com, and it had something that really stuck out to me. The budget, the New Jersey budget, there's a $3 billion hole in the budget. $3 billion. With all the money they take in, $3 billion, and you know who's going to pay for it. They have to balance the budget technically by July 1st, but they kick it on down the road until sometime in October to make this thing balance, which is crazy considering you're 4 or 5 months into your budget anyhow. So I got a problem with that, and I'm going to follow up with Mr. Kennis here. The $65 million loan to Lakewood, that's a way to get around the school aid, because if you think Lakewood's going to be able to pay back the $200 million loans, because that's what it is, there's no way in the world they're ever going to be able to do that. Somehow, some way, the state will magically wipe it away. So it's just a way to get around school aid, and it kind of irks me when I look at all the Ocean County schools that have gotten screwed by the state with all of this. I mean, poor Jackson, they're going to have to sell 2 schools, and it's crazy. And here's the thing, when you sell a school, who's going to buy it? A charter school, which is then you're going to be in competition with, because that's what it's built for, unless they're going to knock it down and put something else. And most of these, you can't do it because they're in residential areas, particularly the elementary schools. That's why they built these things. So that's a mess. And then I got this on top of it. So my blood pressure was a little up. Electric costs in New Jersey to increase again, a minimum as of June 1st, 17%. Think about that, 17%. And all of whom expect at least a 17% increase for the consumer in the monthly electronic costs. And it's hard, I couldn't believe it. It's because of data centers. These companies are putting up these big data centers, and I get it, that's part of the business. But these data centers eat electricity. It's like they drink it like water. And that's coming back on us. That's another problem. Okay. So I got an email from an old friend of mine who lives here in town. And they sent me this. And I'm not sure where they got it from, but I thought it was worth reading. And it's this: local government has spent years bending over backwards to get more public engagement. We've expanded meetings, flooded social media with updates, and hosted town halls, and created endless platforms for feedback. And yet, after all the effort, participation is still abysmal. Misinformation is still rampant, and the loudest voices still drive the conversation, while the majority remain disengaged. I'm going to say what no one wants to say out loud. Public engagement is broken. We pretend that more meetings, more outreach, and more listening sessions will magically create a well-informed, engaged public. But that's not what is happening. Instead, we're empowering the same small group of activists, political opportunists, and professional complainers while failing to reach the people who actually make up the majority of our communities. The people who show up to the meetings aren't always representative of the people who live in the city. They're the ones with the time and the loudest opinions or the strongest personal agendas. Yet cities still make decisions based on whoever shows up, terrified of bad press or public outrage, even if the outrage comes from the same 10 people every week. At some point, we have to ask, are we actually engaging the public, or are we just giving a microphone to the loudest and most extreme voices? The problem isn't that people don't care about their communities. The problem is that the public engagement has been hijacked by a process that rewards outrage, ignores expertise, and creates the illusion of representation while sidelining the silent majority. We cannot run cities based on whoever yells the loudest. We cannot let misinformation dominate the policy. We cannot keep acting as if every opinion is equally informed when they are based on reality or others are fueled by nonsense they saw on Facebook. Engagement should be about educating as much as listening. It should be about ensuring the facts carry more weight than feelings. It should be about making space for real participation, not creating a stage for those who thrive on outrage. If local government doesn't fix this, we will continue to be held hostage by a vocal minority, while the people who actually need us, the working families and the business owners, the residents who trust us to do our jobs, are left behind. The goal of public engagement isn't to validate the loudest voices, it's to govern efficiently. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Great comments. Committeewoman Juliana.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. McDonald. That was very interesting. Okay, so I have a couple little things. Right now, our Lacey Township High School art students have been designing coffee cups at Starbucks, and it's a work in progress, but the nice thing is they've informed us that you can go there and vote on which one you like. So it's something that our art students are doing at the high school, and I thought it was pretty interesting that they shared with us for that to come out. Again, what a wonderful night it was with all of our police being here, and the promotions and the hires. We are a lucky town. We have a lot to be grateful for and a lot to be thankful for, and we should always remember that. Always keep in mind that we have a fantastic volunteer fire company in our town. They run a fantastic organization, and they do their job, and that they are volunteers, so we should always be thanking them. On another note, there will be a meeting on February 24th at the Community Hall at 6 o'clock at night, and that is for the Bayfront Vegetation Meeting. We've worked hard to schedule this. I hope the entire group of people can get there, and I'm looking forward to it, to get something accomplished and open up the dialogue of getting some things talked about that need to be talked about. So again, 2/24/25, 6 o'clock at night, Community Hall, Bayfront Vegetation Meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Committeewoman Giuliano. Committeeman Lorette.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Public Works for the fine job they did
Yes.
with the storm the other day.
Good job.
I mean, it hit us overnight. You woke up early in the morning and surprised, the roads were clear.
It was beautiful.
I mean, it took takes some time to clean all the roads in this town. But they were up early, they cleared the roads quickly, salted them, and of course, after all that, it rained last night and washed the rest of it away.
Yeah, right.
But that's the way life is. Mr. Kennis hit on a really important point right now, and it's got to do with these school finances. I mean, every district seems to be in a problem. I know Jackson and Lakewood, they're way, way over their heads. And one thing with towns like Lakewood, the one thing like we try to do, even with redevelopment and zoning and everything else in this town, is we try to get the most out of our tax dollars, because the one problem Lakewood's got is they got a tremendous amount of buildings, homes, residents, for different reasons, that are tax exempt. And that just snowballs the problem when you got homes sending kids to school and they're tax exempt. With that, and I keep mentioning this, I want everybody to keep in mind that March 9th is a school referendum. 11th. March 11th. Actually, why don't everybody come March 9th? That would probably work out better. March 11th. It's the 9 came from the 92 million. This is a biggie. It's 3 questions. The email that Tim just wrote showed a big concern with today's society. Because whether you're pro or con for this referendum or anything, on the 28th, the school put together a really good program. They had the professionals there, they had breakout sessions, everything. They were really thorough. You might have got answers, maybe you didn't get your answers or whatever, but they really worked hard. They advertised this, they promoted this, they expected hundreds of people, and my guess is there might have been, out of 30,000 residents in this town, 120. It's appalling. It's appalling. So, you know, it's one thing to get on a computer, hide behind the screen and complain. But if you really want the facts, come to the meetings. I said this the other night. And get to the meetings that are appropriate for where our concerns are. And right now with the school funding, like Mr. Kennis just said, when we got that report the other day, there's 33 towns in this county. We ranked 23 as far as the township with their taxes, which is pretty good. But we're up at number 6 for our school taxes. That's got us up there. And we know there's going to be another budget issue this year. We've already been warned. So with that, I want to mention next Thursday, the 20th, at 5 o'clock, there's another public referendum session at the school lecture hall. And also, there's a community group having 2 sessions at the library, one on February 20th and March 6th, and I believe that's at 7 p.m. So I want to mention that to everybody. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having issues with things. But the biggest thing is you got to go and pull them levers and be informed, because misinformation is dangerous. And we really need people to get the facts and make the right decision that's right for them in their hearts. And with that, everybody just have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Committeeman. I'll dovetail on some of the things my colleagues said up here today. I'm fortunate enough to work right up the hallway from Assemblyman Rumpf in Toms River during the day. So on these Thursdays, I will talk to him and ask him. We're all in receipt of emails from the 9th District, but I'll ask him if anything's hot, what's heavy, what's going on. And Committeeman McDonald touched on one of the things that the 9th is continuing to advocate for us. And we're talking specifically about these rates going up. That's an expensive nut in the summertime, electricity. And we, for many years as a county, have wanted one of the 5 members of the Board of Public Utilities to be from Ocean County, and we have not had that yet. I don't know how often those seats come up. Maybe I should. Maybe Senator knows how often, or if they're lifetime appointments, I'm not sure. They're not. So I'm hopeful that somebody from Ocean County gets put on there to advocate for us. It's very, very important. We're an integral part of the county with boatloads of tourism money going into the state coffers. This past Saturday, I unknowingly, and I'm disappointed in myself, and I'm going to admit that to the town. I was at a Monmouth University basketball game at Exit 105. I noticed Governor Murphy sitting in the front row, right courtside. I went up, I said hi to President Leahy of the university, and I struck up a conversation with Governor Murphy, and he was cordial. But as I left, my wife often tells me, try to cut the Italian out. Try to bite your tongue every now and then. It'll do you well. So I didn't bring up anything about our schools. I didn't think it was the place. The gentlemen were there with their wives. I was there with my daughter. My daughter's playing in the band. It was a jovial evening. But Governor Murphy will probably attend there again, as I understand he frequents it sometimes. And if I have the opportunity, I will cordially, as mayor, ask the governor if I have an opportunity. I owe you all that, and I'll do that. I don't know what type of answer I'll get, but at least he'll remember the name and put the name with the face and remember the township. And because we deserve some type of, after many, many years, explanation on things. I want to congratulate our police officers, new and newly appointed, as well as, listen, our police department, our public works, our schools, talk to our association presidents at both, and I know several of us did, at both of our senior communities, talked to the Department of Public Works. Nobody in Lacey Township was working in a silo during that snowstorm. It could have been a lot worse. I'm grateful that it wasn't. Everyone knew what everyone else was doing. We all had roles. When I say we, they all did, and I watched. But they were wonderful people, and they deserve good credit, specifically Department of Public Works, this administration here, sitting up here, my colleagues to my left and my right, our police department, our Ocean County Sheriff. And I went out of my way to mention Bamber, because I don't want to forget those folks, and they deserve the services that we get over here. I'll close my comments tonight by saying I read our annual tax report. We're in receipt of 99.51% of our taxes. So that's a pretty good rate, and we're talking about a curve of 100%. We're trying to do the best we can, folks. We are separate from the schools. We want our schools to flourish, but I want our schools to be strong academically as well. So we're keeping an open dialogue with our schools. We got great liaisons here that are in contact with our schools, and any one of us at any time could speak with our schools. I'd be remiss if I didn't close my comments with thanking the folks from Seabreeze. About 10 days ago, a week ago Monday, we sat down with Mr. Martin and Paul, talked about some items that they had concerns with. They brought some items to us. We're grateful for that. We drafted a letter the very next morning, and got to come and commend Ms. LeRae publicly for that. Because 12 hours later, a letter was drafted and responses started going back and forth. And there's not much we can talk about in that regard. Some of it's being litigated, but I want to thank the acumen and the stick-to-itiveness and persistence of the folks at Seabreeze, because without them, we wouldn't have some of that information. So I'm grateful for that partnership, Ron, Paul, Joe Bransford, and other folks, Matt, that were involved in that effort. And with that, I will open the microphone to the public for comment this evening.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Miss Giuliano forgot to say something.
I apologize.
No, no.
Go ahead.
That we all forgot.
We all forgot. Happy Valentine's Day.
Sorry.
That's tomorrow, yes.
Yes.
This is so on the way home from here, you can go home and get the, run to the
Cookies
store and get the
and flowers and
cards.
everything else you're
We're
supposed to
not,
do.
we're not perfect. Yes, Mr. Senza. Mr. Bender, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Barry.
I appreciate you.
Barry.
Thank you.
Too much noise when I stand up.
We got the cord fixed. It came in, so the new cord's here, the wiring was redone.
You can push it back a little.
That's really the right altitude.
There you go.
That's the perfect height.
Regina DeSenza, Sunset Drive, Sunrise Beach. Good evening. I'd like to say thank you to this governing body for saying no to taking more money from the LMUA surplus funds to give to the school district. I forget which commissioner said it last week, but he said the school district needs to stand on its own 2 feet, and I've been saying that for quite a while. And if the MUA ever does have surplus funds in the future, it should be returned to their ratepayers who created that surplus. I think by now it's no secret that I find the $92 million school district referendum slated for March 11, 2025 a little out of line. Also, these big bucks in the referendum cannot restore the cuts to courtesy busing. I hope everyone realizes that. It is also not going to provide AC in all 6 buildings. It is replacement HVAC items, not upgrades. After what happened in 2008 and 2009 with the previous solar referendum, promised at no cost to the taxpayers, that line fell through the trapdoor. The district wanted to own their solar panels to reap the SRECs, the Solar Renewable Energy Credits. The problem was solar was beginning to take off at that time. At the onset, the SRECs were very profitable, and this was why the public was told the project would pay for itself. The SREC income was supposed to cover the bond payments. But as luck would have it, this was like playing the stock market. A few years after the project settled in, yes, the district was getting 1/3 of their electricity from the solar panels, but the SREC values tanked. This is when the taxpayers were stuck paying nearly the full bond payment. The SRECs were anticipated to last at an unrealistic value, and I didn't learn that till much later in the game. So here's the school district now proposing to throw your money in the trash by discarding all the solar panels and going back to the grid for the full price of electricity when they couldn't afford that bill back in 2009. Really makes you wonder, and you guys just said there's going to be a 17% increase in electricity. I would imagine that includes commercial electric as well as residential. Something is terribly wrong with the pricing of this referendum, and that's why I'm against it. It's not that I don't know the roofs need work, but where's the breakdown of all the anticipated cost? I think FVHD has taken lessons from DeCara Rubino and inflated all the cost. The taxpayers are stuck for 20 years with $3.5 million in interest against the overborrowed $8.2 million from the $19.8 million solar project. This is 3.5 million reasons not to trust the $92 million solar referendum. Also, please try and remember the 2008-2009 referendum was the brainchild of Mr. Stardub and Mr. Savage, our old retired superintendent MBA. The current administration, interim superintendent Zielinski, was hired by Mr. Stardub, worked under Vanessa Clark-Piera, who was somewhat trained, hired, and mentored by Rich Stardub. Where is Vanessa Clark-Piera now? She retired from the public school system a year earlier than her contract expiration in Lacey, and she is now working at Red Bank Catholic High School as the principal. She really didn't retire. She's now working on a new pension with the Catholic Archdiocese if she stays long enough. Who ran the Lacey School District since Mr. Wigley left? Vanessa. Then Will, her assistant, got the interim job. When Mr. Stardub left and Dr. Sandra Anthony Brower came in as superintendent, one of the first things she did was remove Will Zielinski as principal of the high school. I went to talk to her about the goose dog on staff. She didn't know the district had a 4-legged employee, and she hardly believed me, but I had proof. She then told me why she had to remove Will as principal and that she would have fired him if he wasn't in the union. Let that sink in. She also told me she created the district supervisor position so he could stay. And I'm not breaking any confidentiality rules because I wasn't a board member at the time when she told me this, and I was not held to any type of confidence at that time. The school district has a long history of fiscal incompetence, which I personally witnessed, and bad decision-making, which has led them to where they are right now. The referendum in its current form is unsupportable and unsalvageable except for those who have this one-track agenda. The school district can gaslight it all they want why we are at this juncture, but ultimately it's time to put up or shut up. The taxpayers of Lacey really need to stand up and show up at this election. Send a strong message to the school board and the district that they are totally misguided in their actions. The lesson they need to learn is the buck stops here with the taxpayers. People cannot afford these increases, and I just had a friend this past week sell her home because she cannot afford to live here.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else this evening? Mr. Bender?
You sure?
That's good.
Okay. Different topic. Recently, the Army Corps of Engineers have come out with a report. They call it the Back Bay Study. And on this report, they're showing areas that are within the 5-year, what they refer to as the 5-year floodplain. If you go down Beach Boulevard, there's not much Beach Boulevard that's not in the 5-year floodplain. There's a comment period for the report that ends next Tuesday. We've been going around to folks on Beach Boulevard with a petition, getting their names. We're going to submit them to the Army Corps of Engineers. But I'd like to read a letter real quickly as I can read, and hopefully I don't screw up any words, that was put together by a person most of you probably know. She's been up here numerous times. It's from Kelly Smenkowski. And it's to a Mr. Leary, who is with the Army Corps of Engineers. I'm going to take this up a little bit more. Not too much. Okay. She writes, "Dear Mr. Leary, I am writing you to express my concerns regarding the New Jersey Back Bay's Supplemental Draft Integrated Feasibility Report," whew, I got that out, "an environmental impact statement," I'm not even saying the abbreviation, "particularly as it relates to the Forked River Beach area along Beach Boulevard. For more than 15 years, our community has sought critical restoration support, yet we continually find ourselves excluded from recent mapping and planning efforts. The urgency of our situation cannot be overstated. Ongoing shoreline erosion threatens not only our homes, but also the health of our local ecosystem, leaving us increasingly vulnerable to storm damage. The research findings of Dr. Stuart Farrell from the Stockton University Coastal Research Center underscore the alarming rates of shoreline retreat in this region, highlighting the pressing need for immediate intervention. In reviewing the plans for the Back Bay study, I am greatly disappointed that the plan does not include Forked River Beach in Lacey Township. The issues here have been brought to the attention of the NJDEP and discussed with representatives from the Army Corps of Engineers. There has already been a project deployed here to mitigate wave action conducted by the Littoral Society and the Stockton Coastal Research Center. This area is at extremely high risk due to existing erosion and is reaching a critical point where homeowners may soon lose their properties to rising tide levels in the bay. I believe this should be prioritized early in the project. Leaching of the shoreline along Forked River Beach, exacerbated by man-made fill on salt marshes and a lack of natural sediment, has been ongoing for decades and was intensified by Superstorm Sandy. Raising structures in the flood zone is critical to ensuring resiliency, and we applaud efforts to elevate as many homes as possible. However, raising structures alone will not suffice, as erosion will persist, and the homes currently only 30 feet from the shoreline may soon be sitting in the bay. We are not just a shoreline, we are a community with lagoons directly behind our homes. These lagoons, which used to have 12 to 15 feet deep, 12 to 15 feet deep, have also suffered over the years. Levels at high tide are now in the 4 to 5 foot range, verified by a summer 2024 survey. And at times, the water level is too low to launch a boat. Dredging alone is not the answer, as the lagoons fill with sand and silt within 1 to 2 years. Experts advise that groins are needed at each end of the beach to maintain sustainable measures and help mitigate the need for constant, costly dredging. While we understand that dredge remains required testing, we are hopeful that solutions can be found. It is evident that the entire Barnegat Bay shoreline is eroding and requires prompt attention. If this coastal property is not addressed soon, we may face a dire situation in another decade of waiting for action and this disappearing natural resource. While the tentatively selected plan, TSP, addresses certain key infrastructure needs, it falls short in addressing the specific challenges facing Beach Boulevard and our community. Given the gravity of the situation, I respectfully urge the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to consider the following recommendations in your ongoing assessments. Number one, explicit inclusion of Forked River Beach. The TSP must prioritize restoration and protection measures for Forked River Beach. Erosion and flooding have caused significant harm here, and the community urgently requires investment in beach replenishment, groins, and other protective solutions. Number two, community engagement and collaboration. We strongly encourage the Corps to engage directly with local residents and stakeholders to better understand the specific challenges we face. Community input is crucial to shaping practical, effective, and sustainable solutions. Number three, implementation of long-term resilient solutions. In addition to traditional engineering measures, we urge the Corps to incorporate nature-based solutions such as the restoration of marshlands and dune systems to enhance the resilience of our coastline against future storm events. We greatly appreciate the Corps' ongoing efforts to mitigate coastal flooding and erosion across the region. However, it is critical that all impacted communities, including Forked River Beach, receive the attention and resources they deserve in these vital planning processes. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to your response and to renewed commitment to include Forked River Beach in the forthcoming restoration efforts. Sincerely, Kelly Smenkowski Norton. She lives on Beach Boulevard, and you've met Kelly. She's
I
been
know
here.
Kelly well.
Very well.
I have a couple of things. Now, in the plan that, as it exists presently, they plan on reinforcing salt marshes. I'll put my teeth back in. Thank you. The way the things sit, there are no new projects, but it's important that we're in their face, that they hear from us, that they see us, that we're not forgotten, because they need to know there is a situation. And again, I refer to it as the island, because when you reach a certain point down Beach Boulevard, you are on an island. That's 100% in the 5-year coastal flood plain. Back to the lagoons where the Planet Streets and the Bird Streets are, they're there too. So it's not just the people sitting right on Barnegat Bay. So we need to let the Army Corps of Engineers know that it's critical for our town, because again, that part of the town, there's a lot of ratables there. There's a lot of tax dollars coming in there, and we can't afford to lose those tax dollars. So that's what we're working on. We've put together a petition. I was doing it yesterday. I was going to do it today, but work interrupted. I'm going out Saturday, and I'm going to read this real quick, just very quickly. Petition to the Army Corps of Engineers requesting the inclusion of Forked River Beach in their Back Bay study remediation plans. We, the undersigned residents of Forked River, New Jersey, support the efforts to submit comments to the Army Corps of Engineers regarding the ongoing issues affecting our community. We believe it is imperative that our area be included in the plans for assistance and restoration as part of the remediation plans of their Back Bay study. And we're somewhere around 70 signatures now. We plan to get 100, 200 signatures from people. There's lots of families out there on that island, lots of homes, back on the lagoons also. We need to make sure that those who are doing the work at the higher levels, that we're in their face, that they know that we're here, and they know that the problems that we are having. So that's...
Are you including the other streets off of Beach, or are you just concentrating on that area?
Well, what I want to say, if people get to see this meeting, okay, you want to sign this petition, you let us know. I'll come to your door and you sign the petition. I think someone put together an electronic one, so we're working on that also. But we want to get this. The deadline is next Tuesday. We want to get things pretty much wrapped up by Sunday. Get as many signatures as we can, and get this to the Army Corps of Engineers saying, it's nice that you're fixing the salt marshes, but people are living here and there's homes and et cetera. So,
Barry, I have news for you.
What?
And there'll be more coming by April.
Okay.
So every year in April, the State Department of Environmental Protection meets at one of the coastal counties. This year it's in Ocean. So there's 4 coastal monitoring managers, one for each county: Cape May, Atlantic, Ocean, and Monmouth. I'm
Right.
the one for Ocean. On April 8th, we're meeting with the DEP. It's a business meeting, so the
Right,
public's
right.
not involved.
Got it.
And they're meeting in Toms River. Each year at that initial meeting, they give us the complete rundown of what the U.S. ACE, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, is going to be doing. My understanding this year, and I will have certainty after April 8th, and you can call me or we can talk publicly here in front of everyone, is that the Army Corps of Engineers is planning projects starting up in Toms River, but the primary coastline in that part of Ocean County, and they're working their way down. Now, if they're not focusing completely on Forked River Beach or the interior estuary area, my understanding, and what I've been understanding, and I will get complete clarity at 8 a.m. on April 8th as the coastal manager, I will get complete clarity on is when they work on that outer part of, with beach replenishment with the big boys, Toms River, Island Beach State Park, and they're working their way down the coastline, that will affect positively the interior estuaries of Barnegat Bay, and then it'll be like a domino effect, and it will improve the flow and reduce the erosion in some of those other areas. And do I know that with certainty? That's what my understanding of these projects are. They're starting very soon. Unfortunately, they're going to go into August. That's a problem. The ocean doesn't freeze. They should be doing that stuff in the dead of winter or in the fall when it's not tourism season, because they can do that. The machinery can run. They don't need to make the beach water look like a Slurpee in Barnegat Bay or Island Beach State Park or any of that by kicking it up and dredging with those huge barges. But I think you're going to be pleased, because I'm going to get a solid update as a coastal manager on April 8th at 8 a.m., and I will share that with everybody, if I'm allowed to. But you know what? I'm going to be allowed to, and I'm going to do it.
Public information, I would
Yeah,
think.
it's public information, so before we press it, you do what you're doing, I'm gonna advocate for our people too. But before we push any panic buttons, they got a lot of projects that's gonna help Barnegat Bay this year.
Yeah,
coming.
my understanding, this is really long-term, but to me, the key thing is we need to be in their face. They need to hear
They do
us.
projects
The
every
squeaky
year.
wheel gets the grease. We need to be the squeaky wheel, because, I mean, just in the
They're never
time.
not doing
I've been
coastal
working with
projects.
people down there for, it's 16 years now. And to see what has happened and how the shoreline has changed in those 16 years is frightening. It's
I think
frightening.
it's gonna help. I
Yeah.
think there's gonna be some assistance coming soon.
Well,
I'd like to ask
I
the
hope
senator
you're,
a question,
from you
Mayor.
to,
If you don't mind. Can we, would you mind if we are allowed to sign that, Senator? Would we be allowed to, Chris, allowed to sign that? There'd be no problem, right?
or if there's one sent from the town.
Barry, I am
Just put it up here.
diligently working on one.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. I have a question
Diligently.
Let's
also.
have that
Okay,
sort
here,
of
you
sign.
want
I got it right here.
You mentioned the public presentation on the 24th. Do you want us to make flyers to hand out?
I didn't make them yet.
Okay.
but-
If you get them ready, you get them to me, I'm going door
And
to door.
I spoke with Kelly too, so she said,
Okay.
and I have a bunch of email addresses of the residents
So
down there.
people,
Yes,
we
and
don't want 6 people there. We
No, no,
want
Stan
lots
House
of people.
will be coordinating the meeting with us.
Okay.
You know, so we've met with him several times, with Mr. Connors as well, so I think we've come up with a good plan.
Great, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, we just want to get the message out
Yeah,
there.
we did a lot of.
And you were
we spoke
talking
to some
about,
announcements this year.
Committeeman McDonald was commenting about the lack of participation. I have an expression. It's, people are too busy watching Dancing with the Stars to know what's going on around them, and they need to be here. There needs to be butts. There needs to be butts in these seats, okay? I've gone to meetings up in the cities in the northern part of the state, and they have a lot more people than we have. So people have to realize, if you got something on your mind, come here and say it. Nobody here is going to bite your head off.
And we can put this out, blast this out on Facebook and all that too, so get them out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right,
What?
more news for you on
Sign that so
April
we can
8th.
put that back to him.
We're gonna have good.
I hope
news.
it's good news.
It's gonna be good news. They're
Okay.
doing big projects.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I really want to thank you for bringing this up tonight, because even when we were running our campaign, Mr. McDonald can understand this when they were talking about pictures. As long as we've been in town, our dad had a marina. Last summer was my 56th summer on this bay as a boater. I mean, both sides of the
see.
Forked River, the shame of it is there's a shoaling issue.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can tell that just by boating it.
Yep.
The difference. But the thing about the shoreline, most people don't always realize in this town, That's what made Fork River what it is. and
The
Lenox
Bay.
Harbor.
The
It is-
Bay.
We are a shore community, and believe it or not, most people don't realize, outside of the Chesapeake Bay, from here all the way to Florida and all the way up the north coastline, there's not many bays. There's a lot of water, there's intercoastals.
Yep.
But there's not many places in the world that's got the unique opportunity like we do, with the bays, the lagoons, the barrier islands, and then the ocean. So it's something we really got to take serious and work on, because that's a big part of our community and why people do come here and spend money here.
It's our history and our heritage. That's what it is.
We wanna keep
Absolutely.
using
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. One quick plug, May 31st, Relay for Life. I'll
there
be
you go.
saying more. I'll be saying more. I used too much time today. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Township Committee members, Lacey citizens, and the people out there in TV land. I'm glad it was brought up tonight about taxes, because there's a lot of things going on right now that could affect all of us in a big way in our community. So everyone pretty much knows how I feel about the referendum. It's become more acute to me now after looking at the tax list from the tax lien list that just happened. And when I saw all the number of people who are having problems paying their property taxes, and I personally know 2 individuals who their properties have liens on them now, and one of them is going to lose their home. And when it becomes personal like this, it's like it becomes an issue of, do we care about the people in our community and whether they're going to lose their basic home? Or is the structure of a school, because it may have possibly a leak here or there in a roof, more important at this time? And an issue was brought up about the tax money as far as where the state is going with school aid. Now, anybody who knows anything about education will understand what I'm going to say right now. Regionalization is the only sustainable way for education to continue in the state of New Jersey. I can go on with a number of reasons of why that is. Part of it is unions, health insurance costs, which are outrageous. When I was just looking at what we paid from the school for insurance costs for the month of January. Salaries that continue to rise because of inflation, keeping that all out of control. These are actually, most of the school's budget is just what I mentioned to you. It's salaries and benefits. And the school district has been, over the last 7 years, especially since they knew about S2, which was the Senate bill that was passed, which changed the funding for our school districts. The school board knew about all of these changes and what was coming down the pike. I've been going to the meetings and they've been talking about this, but there was no plan. And I'm sorry, I do not reward fiscal incompetence, and I don't think that the citizens of Lacey Township should be rewarding fiscal incompetence and then on top of that having to have more of their taxes going toward the school. Now, a comment was made that we have the sixth, what was it, the 6th highest? Well, actually, we have the 2nd highest tax assessment for a school district now in Ocean County. And probably is going to be first, coming up pretty soon, if things continue to be the way that they are. Now, people have asked me, well, what's your solution to some of the school's problems? Well, okay, you know what? We can basically piecemeal the projects at the school. We can basically look at and prioritize what are the most important issues that need to be addressed. Now, I spoke with the CFO. She told me that the most pertinent issue is basically the roofing at the high school. And I asked her exactly how much that would cost, and she explained that to me. They could take out a loan for a number of years, a low-interest loan, and pay that off and include that in their operating budget. Now, there's another misunderstanding that's been going out on the internet about this whole project with the referendum, that, if we don't pass this, we're going to lose this 40% from the state. Well, I have news for everybody. We're not going to get the 40% because not all of the bond issue is actually, not all of it is approvable for the 40%. So it's going to be less than that. Also, I want the taxpayers of Lacey to know, I asked this question, Mr. McDonald was there. I asked what was the interest that we would pay on this 20-year bond. It's $46 million. So when you add that in, it comes up to $138,500,000. So even if we got 40% paid by the state, we, the taxpayers of Lacey, would have to pay $83 million over 20 years, which comes out to $4.155 million a year in new taxable revenue that the school district has to come up with to be able to pay for the referendum. The other issue too is that people have mentioned is this. Oh, if the referendum doesn't pass, blah, blah, blah. I have news for everybody. They're going to be paying off one of their major bonds in the next year or so. And if the referendum isn't approved, they actually have to return some of that money that they're not going to be using for bonds any longer back to the taxpayer via a reduction in the assessment, which means all of our taxes would go down. And basically, quite frankly, we just had almost a 10% tax increase inflicted on us by 5 people who voted for this. And which is causing one of my friends who I know to now be losing their home. So as an issue goes, I just want everybody to understand we will be having our meeting on the 20th and on March the 6th at the library. Please come. I don't want to have a debate about this. I basically just want to have a question and answer scenario because some people are very strong. They have, it's their agenda. They don't care. They don't care about the people in the town who may lose their homes. And I do. Because, this is our community. There are rich people in our town. There are poor people in our community. But the people who really are struggling, we need to think about them. And there has to be a bigger picture. So I hope that the taxpayers of this town will do the right thing. And we start looking out for all of our community instead of special interests. And quite frankly, I've been fighting with the school for years about academic achievement. We all know that. But only 1/3 of this town has children in our schools. We looked at the census figures. 2/3 of the community does not. And we're doing everything for the kids. And you know what? There comes a time when we have to think about everybody in the community. And there needs to be major reforms. I wish this body would actually push the school board into looking into the regionalization grants which are available, which I have talked about at school board meetings, which they don't want to do. But it is the way that it's going to have to go. Even the CFO in private conversation had told me she understood exactly where the vision that I have. She said to me, what would you think, who would we regionalize with? Well, I said, probably Southern Regional. And she said, well, what do you think the benefits of that would be? Well, I explained it to you. The benefits would be the kids would actually have a much broader education because we can't afford to offer them 6 foreign languages. I'm just using this for an example. We can't afford to have a class like I had when I was in high school about designing your own home. Well, that's exactly what I ended up doing when I built my house here in Lacey Township.
Very nice, too.
Thank you very much. And see, these are the type of things our kids are not getting today, and they could get if we had a broader education for them. And I think we need to look at this on the broader picture. Do we really care about the education that our children are getting? And what are we as leaders, all of you being leaders in this town, doing to make that happen? And you can push the school board into the direction that needs to happen, because it's going to happen. The state is pushing. You can see, you're just talking about Lakewood and these other towns. They're pushing for this, and there is legislation right now, if I'm not mistaken, that's being talked about in the Senate to do more with regionalization. So Lacey citizens, we need to look out for everyone. Just please remember that on March 11th, and please do come to our meetings at the library, and let's do this as a community, what's right for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments this evening?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor?
Second.
All in favor? favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2025-95, resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the convening of an executive session in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act to discuss pending and anticipated litigation and matters of real estate.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. No further business.
Come here, Blaine, says green.